Here's a video on how to override outputs in an ASIC 6100 controller, and this only applies when your controller is set up for MSTP enable. You'll notice that if you go to the output summary, you have function OR action. These functions do not work when MSTP is checked. These are only for ASI protocol. So if you were to try to drive the electric heating one, so if we go and try to force heat on, we'll notice that it goes to OR on, um, and then it just goes back to, it restores back to normal. Analog outputs, these function override functions are only for ASI protocol. So we'll start with the analog outputs. If you want to override an analog output to test it, you just change your min or max output value. So if I want the analog output to go to 50%, I just change the min value to 50 and it'll drive that output to 50. And then I can just put it back to 0 when I want it to drive back. Binary outputs, you must change this property out OR power up state. You must change this to 255. And once you change this value to 255, you will want to reset the controller. And once the controller resets, then you are able to use the function OR action to override your outputs. And we'll wait for this to reset and demonstrate. So now that we're set for 255 and we reset the controller, we'll notice that we have some of the outputs will go into an override mode. So we can change, let's say if we want the fan to go, we want to restore the fan to normal operation. We can do that. Let's say we want to drive the heat to on, force it on. How about the lights? We can change the lights to off. So force lights off. So OR off. So when you're done testing your controller and overriding your outputs, you can just change this back to 0, hit enter, and then reset the controller. And once the controller resets, the overrides will restore back to normal operation. Okay, so that is how we override outputs when set up for BACnet MSTP.